Hi. I hope you can see well. I'm Lisanna coming from Inbank Group, currently dealing with different growth projects. And today I will then talk a bit about changing consumer habits, a bit about sustainable shopping, as well as a rental model behind it. But before we dig into the main presentation, then a few words about Inbank. So Inbank is maybe not your traditional bank. We don't have transactional banking. We don't have mortgages. However, what we do have is B2B2C business line, consumer finance, where basically our main partners are merchants that we are working together with, offering different kinds of solutions. And thereof, it's not that I'm here talking about shopping, but we do have quite a lot of experience with our partners, and our main goal is to help our merchants to sell more, offer solutions that then customers are waiting, and really being innovative. And why I'm here talking today about rental is that a few years back we started to see this new kind of model appearing in different parts of the world. And this new model is rental. And we really started to kind of figure out if this is something that we should also offer to our merchants. Is this solution kind of worth to invest? And it has turned out yes, but it's not only the solution. So if we actually started to kind of dig deeper into why we should do this solution, then it turned out that the problem is actually bigger in the world than just building this solution. So it turned out that there are 700 million of unused phones in EU itself, basically sitting in our drawers, gaining dust, and they are not being dealt with. So basically we have these graveyards in our drawers with these unused devices. Which it also means is that every one of us in EU has 1.5 phones. For a household, it's 6 phones that we could do something with. And it's not only phones, actually, that we are talking about. So we are generating all kinds of waste. It's every kind of electrical stuff. We have TVs, monitors. Our workplaces are using quite a lot of technology. So annually, together with the Estonian Climate Ministry, we actually realized that we are generating 16 kilograms of e-waste every year. And this number is not expected to decrease, rather increase. So the problem is actually getting bigger and bigger every year. And you would expect that if we are kind of generating so much stuff around us, then it is being recycled. In an ideal theory, yes, but actually real statistics states that it's roughly 20% that is being today recycled. Personally, I think it's rather positive scenario, so 20% recycled, and actually out of these devices that we have in our home, in our workplace, we are only utilizing them in their premium time. So when they are new for 1 year, 2 years, if you talk about phones specifically, then most of the phones are used 2 to 3 to 4 years, which is then accordingly like half of the lifetime that they could be used. So essentially, there's a problem that is getting bigger every day that we are basically living here. And then, as we started to see these new models appearing in different merchants' checkouts, then we also thought that we actually are today in a position where we can create this solution together with our merchants, and this solution then would be renting devices. So we are actually changing the way customers can use their devices. So it's not about full ownership. It's not about having the devices in the end in your drawer, but actually utilizing them when they are in their premium time and then giving it back. So in a way, we have said that we are redefining the ownership of different devices. Of course, this is not maybe something that we thought ourselves, and it's completely new. Actually, rental or subscription or however we call it, it's super old school stuff. It's been around for hundreds of years. Internet claims that it started from different angles, either newspapers or books that in 1600s was able to subscribe to. Some even claim that it was in 1800s possible to subscribe to milkmen. So basically you had a guy coming behind your door every morning and you paid a fixed fee every day or week or whatnot. Then the model evolved. Then we have software that was put into the subscription model. So instead of selling the device in one bulk sum, it was sold in a subscription fee, monthly fee. You could, as part of this, upgrade and update your software. And by today, I think all of us are subscribing to some other model, either it being Netflix or YouTube. But basically, the model is there. It's not anything new. Today, what has changed is maybe the basics of what we can subscribe to, what we can rent. In the Baltics, we have, for example, car rental, Mobira company, for example, that is also doing it in another vertical. So basically, we are like creating this new way of ownership where the customer is like a core of the needs, and then like we are taking the device away at the end of this life cycle. But if we know that there is a huge problem that needs to be solved, we kind of have figured out that probably we have a solution how to at least help globally to solve this model. Of course, we cannot solve it in full, but we can be part of the solution. Then we also need to make sure that end customers or the market demand is also ready for it. And today, I believe we can quite well say that the market is definitely moving to the direction of being ready for these kind of new ownership models. You don't need to always have the full ownership, but you want to still use it. So depending on different articles that are there available, and also our internal research that we have made from different like angles, we can state that the more and more people are ready for this model. Definitely the younger generation is the one to firstly kind of pick up these new trends. Again, depending on what vertical we are talking about, if we are talking about consumer electronics, then younger generation has already tried rental model in 2023. Then we also made internal research where we also understood that there are verticals where older generation is actually more willing to rent than younger. If we talk about, I don't know, gardening, home appliances, so it actually differentiates between the verticals that we are talking about. And then also people are not anymore maybe that much only talking about circularity and sustainability, but they are also looking for these solutions. So again, hopefully this like greenwashing in a way is a past, and the people are making today more and more like logical and mindful decisions in their shopping habits. So basically, we have these customers that are more and more ready to start renting. Then the market is also quite strongly pushed by the regulation. So, and here we are talking about regulation about waste. So on EU level, depending on the kind of segment that we are talking about. So here, for example, electronics, manufacturers and countries themselves have actually been limited in the amount that they can produce to the market, or how much they need to recycle. So if we put kind of these different angles together, then the market demand also seems to be there. We have been live with our solution over a year, and it really seems that, of course, we need to educate the people about the new product because they do need to return it, but they are actually willing to try out, and this is maybe something that throughout the last years has changed quite a bit. But now if we are basically taking together then three important things that you need to succeed with this model, then from one end, rental market is actually there because of already the regulation that has been kind of put to place. It is maybe not followed thoroughly yet, but countries need to work towards the goals that have been set to recycling and yeah, basically these kind of things. Then we talked about the shifting consumer behavior. We can already see that it is there. People are more willing to like use other types of ownership to kind of shop sustainably. And then thirdly, it is important that we are actually adding value to the merchants. So merchants' usual goal is to sell more, to sell solutions that their partners are or their customers are interested. And as part of this, actually changing the business models that they are used to. So not only selling, but adding these rental options there as well. And it is expected that this rental proportion out of the total sales is roughly 10% like in 2028 or 2030. So definitely the market is moving towards that direction. So we have the regulation, we have the consumer demand, and actually we have the merchants whose sales will be supported by this solution. But now if we talk about maybe a bit more of the specifics of what this rental then is or how it can help, then rental essentially is a model which is not credit. It is true rental, so we can, in the first phase of like a checkout or next to the merchants, we can acquire customers from different aspects. So if we are not having any credit solutions, then we have people who would like to buy the devices out in full. These customers still remain. Then we have credit products, so possibility to kind of make the monthly payments into and split between different periods. So this also remains. But then with rental, we can also target customers who would never take credit, for example, but they would like to have the convenience. So they like that they can give the device away. They like that they only get to use it during the premium time of the device. They like that if something happens, they have insurance as part of the package. So these are the customers who we can attract with this model. We have younger generation. As it's not a credit product, then we can actually attract university customers with it, depending on the vertical. And then, of course, the circular economy enthusiasts who actually care how they use their devices or how they shop. And then, of course, if we talk about electronics, then these tech enthusiasts or people who always love to have the latest models. So with this rental, they actually get to have it. And then whenever new device comes out, then they just return it as part of the rental model and upgrade to a new one. So we have estimated that the customer base is actually increasing and not cannibalizing customers from other segments. And the increase is roughly 10 to 20%. So we get to attract more customers. Then as rental is very similar to taking a car from Avis or renting an apartment, then we don't have to do necessarily the credit checks that the regulation requires, but we do checks to make sure that the customers are liable to pay back and they are not frauds. So we actually get to shorten and simplify the application process quite a bit, meaning that for the merchants or our partners, conversion from application to like a signed contract is definitely quicker. And with rental, rental is a service. So as merchants and as us as the rental providers, it is important to take the maximum out of the package that you are putting together or the customer is putting together for this rental. So take the phone, add there some phone screen, maximize your earnings as the merchants, but make the package as comfortable as possible for the end customer. If there is a scooter, please sell their helmet as well, because it's needed as part of your journey on the streets. So very easy to kind of put this into the rental model. And then essentially, if we talk about rental, then rental kind of basis that you are not fully owning the device, but using. So from our end, we are offering an optionality for a term contract. So customer gets to use in the beginning of the period, choose in the beginning of the period, 12 months, 18 months, 36 months, whatever we agree that is needed in this specific vertical. And then they actually give the device back, and you as the merchant have an opportunity to sell a new upgraded version, to start a new cycle. Sometimes even rent customers are stating that I actually like to test this device, but it turned out it's not for me, so now I'm not going to rent, I don't know, this tablet, but I will go to computer, but they got to test. So there are very different value propositions. And essentially when the device or item is returned, then we make sure from our end that it will be recycled, it will be reused, or depending on the status that it was returned, maybe it will go to spare parts. So basically that is how the rental comes together, and that is what together with merchants we can offer to end customers, so that we are not only talking about full ownership, but really the usage of the devices. So why customers love to rent? Touched upon these all topics already. So if you talk about technology, then always the latest tech. Customers have the opportunity to choose between different periods where they think that they would benefit the most for the device, and then they give it back. Then we always try to make sure that rental model is cheap, or is in that cost that it makes sense for the end customer to rent. So it should be cheaper than buying it out in one. It should be cheaper than buying it with credit. So we are trying to make sure that the value offering as a package is there. Then it is not the credit product, and it has a flexible period for what you can use it. And of course, as I also said, depending on the vertical, we try to make sure that the package itself has enough value. So it is even including insurance in some places. In some verticals, it might be including maintenance works. Essentially, whatever makes this package of rental logical and worthy for the end customer to subscribe to, but also benefiting the merchants as they can actually sell their services and products more. But how can you then basically boost your business, taking into account what this new model is and what it offers? So as we already discussed, it should be a win-win for both merchants and shoppers. So in the beginning, you have to make sure that the target group is there, the target group is bigger based on the value proposition that I just provided. It should build you loyalty. It should build you customers who are coming back, maybe not after 6 years, but in 2. So in a way, you are building this new customer base to yourself that converts quicker. Then through rental, we offer affordability. So as the customer is not having the device owned by them, then we can utilize from residual values. So usually if we talk about rental, then we want to make sure that these devices have some value, because this value is something that we can bundle together into the monthly price that then helps us to create this kind of package affordable. Then maximize sales. It's the same topic as I previously mentioned about these add-ons. So on top of selling this initial device, we want this rental to be in good condition after it is returned. Doesn't matter what the vertical is, but we can always have there some add-ons included into the package. Of course, the price needs to make sense, but this is kind of your as merchant to figure out like what kind of add-ons actually add value into this package. And then as part of it, merchants are most of the time targeting new sales volumes for them. But thanks to this model, we are actually taking away these devices, these 700 million of devices from people's homes and actually putting them to good use in another cycle. So we do have people who maybe cannot afford first-hand completely new devices, or we have some spare parts that we can use to repair some other devices. So basically with this model, you as merchant can also do good and recycle basically the devices that otherwise would be left in drawers. And beat competition. So this is actually something that I think in our region, in the Baltics, has not maybe started to grow that much as it has already in the UK and Germany. But definitely, like by having this rental solution for some of your products, or depending on the vertical, maybe for all the products, then this actually helps you to be ahead and already today offer something additional to end customers. But how to get started? So again, nothing new maybe on the slide, but if you as merchants are interested to start, then first we need to figure out what is the product that you would like to put into the rental model. A rental is probably not for all the products that you have, because it should have either residual value or a very good value offering as part of the package. Then with this, we are actually making sure that we have the customer base who would then convert into this returning customer or loyal customer base. And to start, then we really need to think that if these are the devices that we would like to have in the rental model, then how can we monetize the most by adding their additional products and services. And last but not least, as rental that we have built is not credit, then it kind of opens quite a lot of doors to advertise it in a slightly easier manner than for financial services, for example. So this is definitely like one angle that this rental is bringing to the table. And if we talk about where to use rental, then actually kind of the world is endless. So it's rather to figure out what is the value proposition for these verticals, rather to figure out where the customer demand sits, and which are the devices that have the residual value. So basically, we have seen rental from phones to lawnmowers to glasses. So it is like very different to what you can rent and what is the value proposition that is behind it. So it is kind of flexible. And then lastly, how do we actually do it? So there is a demand, we figured there is a solution. We also figured that it would be helping both our merchants or new merchants and the end customers. Then being part of the like B2B2C world, we think that simplicity is really the key. So however we offer it, it needs to be very seamless, very simple for our partners. So you don't need to know about the residual values. You don't need to know about some other very specific stuff. You actually just want to have the plug and play solution. So we are actually offering it. We have the active rental management tool. If you are already our partner, then probably you've seen our vendor or partner portal, where it's basically a click of a button when we open this rental solution. If the vertical is already productized, we offer the CRM integration. And in the end of the day, we are lifting some capital from your balance sheet, because we are actually buying these assets that are going into the rental into our own balance sheet, financing them, dealing with end customer credit risk, billing, payments, and contract management. So essentially from our end, it's rather like a plug and play solution if we are able to agree what are the products that we would like to have in this new refined ownership model. So essentially really offering just one more solution, how you can attract your customers and how you can shop more sustainably in your store. I have rented my watch, my phone, so hopefully you are also part of this more sustainable living. And yes, thank you. I see 5 minutes.
Lisanna, thank you very much. A quick question, please, about the perspectives of the market. Given that some markets are already quite ahead with the penetration of this type of service, what kind of growth potential do you see, let's say, in the Lithuanian market? How far behind are we?
I think Lithuanian market already has some players, but as I said, actually every vertical has to gain from rental. So I don't think in Europe any market is actually saturated yet, so that it wouldn't have any room for this product to actually arise. And sustainability is definitely something that, from the customer's point of view, is also just rising. The knowledge about it is rising, so definitely there is plenty of room for all the companies and also for us.
And when it comes to particular categories of goods, where do you see the best traction? Which customers, in terms of merchants, you would see can benefit most from it currently?
I think in the beginning, or like at this stage where we are currently with rental, definitely consumer electronics is the category to go to, just because of the residual values that these like brands are holding. But then, the world is in a way endless. We can try very different categories because actually the value proposition serves different purposes. So also talking about home appliances, coffee machines, why not vacuum robots, these kind of topics. But definitely the biggest volume today is coming from consumer electronics.
Okay, brilliant, super interesting. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.